You're listening to the Love Over Addiction podcast.
When I was married to a good man suffering from addiction, I was convinced that if I just got him to admit he has a problem with drinking, we would be on the path to recovery. After I dropped off the kids at school, I would get a cup of coffee and spend the morning reading all the latest research on addiction. The more I became educated about this disease, the more, quote, prepared I was the next time he got wasted. When he woke up from his evening of indulgence, I was waiting at the foot of the bed to lecture him and impress him with statistics and innovative ways to get sober. My intentions were good. I loved this man deeply, and when he was sober, he was so loving and talented and funny. I wanted that guy around all the time. I had to save my family. I had to help us recover and live happily ever after. But there was something wrong with my thinking. Can you point it out? Those of you who have been in our secret Facebook group and taken our courses can probably answer. The problem with my thinking was that I took on his sobriety as my job. I said if I just got him to admit he had a problem. There is a huge difference between admitting they have an issue and actually working hard to fix it. It's not my responsibility to get him to admit anything, and it's not yours either. Let's say for years you tried to convince them that they had a problem. You begged them to consider abstinence, and let's say they actually did admit they might have an issue. A lot of our loved ones admit they have an issue just to get us off their back. They think that all our pestering will go away if they tell us what we want to hear. They have zero intention of trying to get us sober. Do you see where I'm getting at? What you really want, what makes all the difference, is to let things get bad, to stop saving them, and allow so many natural consequences occur that they finally come to you and say, you know what? I've got to get help. And then they follow through. That's gold. That's the ticket. That's when you should feel there's hope. But here's the truth. It's really, really hard to let things fall apart. The reality could mean DUIs, lost jobs. It could even mean jail. But let's be clear. You are letting their lives fall apart. But you are not letting your life fall apart. While they might be getting sicker, you are getting stronger and stronger. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is completely possible. It happened for me, and I teach women it can happen for them. All you need to do is focus today on letting things fall apart, staying in your own lane. Quit wasting energy trying to get them to admit that they have an issue, and just take responsibility for your own life. I know that it sounds challenging, but I am your greatest fan, and I promise you that nothing I mention is anything that you are incapable of. You are so much more capable than you think you are. You've just let addiction be that negative voice in your head for far too long, and it's time to kick it to the curb and replace it with a loving, tender, strong, and courageous voice. I'll talk to you next week.
If you're ready to let go of the role as the fixer and let go of being the glue holding everything together, then we encourage you to join our Love Over Addiction online program. Head over to loveoveraddiction.com/LOA to read what's possible for you. And if you want to learn more about the Love Over Addiction program, but you're not feeling ready to take the leap and join just yet, then we have a free program sample for you. It's a great way to hear a tiny taste of the program, and then you can join us whenever you're ready. Head over to loveoveraddiction.com/December to get your free program sample today. We'd be forever grateful if you could leave us a rating and review on iTunes. It helps other women searching for answers find our podcast and join our community. And be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen so you never miss an episode. This podcast is created for your support, encouragement, and entertainment with Michelle's personal thoughts and beliefs. From one woman to another, bonded together by the fact we love someone suffering from addiction. This is not intended as a substitute for therapy or advice from a professional.